Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Council. It is your girl, Cosette.
Lexi and Rachel.
And today, we're talking about the hard launch versus the soft launch.
Oh, exciting.
My favorite thing as a viewer is when I can investigate people's soft or hard launches. Like when someone posts a cryptic photo at a bar with just a drink and someone else is handing it, I love trying to figure out who that is.
Do you feel like your success rate is high?
Oh my gosh, yes. I'm an FBI agent.
She is. I know.
I am. But today we're going to talk a little bit about the hard launch, the soft launch, what it means for the relationship, when to do it, if you should be doing it. It's going to be fun. Have you guys ever soft launched anyone? Like tried to be really secretive and cryptic about it?
Oh gosh. I haven't. I have not been that savvy with
You're
it.
not as
I know.
present on social media.
I wish I
No offense, but
No,
you know
I
you
know.
are.
I wish I had done a soft lunch. Lunch.
Lunch.
I wish I had
sounds good.
I know lunch sounds good. A soft launch because I think you can do it for as long as you want too.
Yeah.
That's what's so exciting.
Uh-huh.
You're like, oh, like how long am I gonna play this game? So I
Mhm.
wish I played that longer, but no.
It is a fun game to play.
Yeah.
Rachel, I feel like you have a lot to say about this because you went from being in a relationship that was very public to then being on your own and then jumping into I feel like your first post with your current partner was like a hard launch. Like y'all just
was.
went for it. It was like
Yeah.
kissing, like
Yeah,
let's
that's
just do
Because
it.
they were like not present.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're like, yes.
They're like,
which I
bang,
guess
bang,
is
bang.
the definition
Yeah.
of a hard launch.
Yeah.
But for people who are your friends who had been seeing the relationship, we're like, how
We
is
were
this
like,
going? Yeah, and then all of a
finally!
sudden we're like, now everyone knows, but
It went from nothing to everything.
Yeah.
So
really.
I'm curious what the thought process was behind that and how you decided what to post. Did it just feel like the time was right? Like you just
Yeah.
were hiding?
Definitely, when we first started dating, I was more cautious, just coming from a really, intense previous relationship, just being more cautious about everything. And I felt like the time was right, and we took a super cute photo, and I'm like,
So
okay.
I have to say, I still have some of the photos that Rachel shares with me with her partner, and I keep them because they're so cute.
They
Uh-huh.
are.
The way you two take photos together. So it's exciting too then to be able to share that with the public and be like, yeah, I'm so excited by my partner. I want you to as well. But
Yeah.
this is for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really I think that's what's great about a hard launch is do it when you're ready to not care what anyone says, because it is scary putting your person out there, putting yourself out there, your relationship out there.
It also shows that, what you guys are, going through. It's like legit.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
together. You
Yeah.
guys are a unity now.
So you should do it when you're comfortable to be like, okay, no matter what, this is like I'm in this relationship and I'm excited about it, and I'm not
Mhm.
doing it for anyone else but myself.
yeah,
Like,
and I feel like no one should be felt like a secret. It's like you could be private, but don't make me a secret.
I know.
I feel
well,
like, so on that note, I think there are ways to feel like you're showing your partner off without
Wait,
posting.
Cosette, I feel like
Wait.
let's dial back.
Wait.
Because
Oh.
Cosette, as we revealed, is in a relationship.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out, I don't even know if you haven't hard launched. Your photos have been sneaky as like, who is this man? No one would
I've
even
done
know.
a little bit of
It would be
soft
like a
launch.
friend. Yeah, but it's not. It's soft launching.
So I'll talk about my reasonings behind that.
Okay.
So similar to Rachel, I feel like I was in that one long-term relationship that was very public facing, and we constantly filmed videos together, and everyone loved us as a duo, and I felt like it was a big part of my identity, similar to you.
100%.
And when we broke up, people were hopping on my live streams just to be like, oh, where is blank? Are you guys still together? What's
Yeah.
going on? And it was very it's really hard to heal from a breakup, but then also have to address people's concerns and questions that it's none of their business, but you kind of made it their business by getting them so invested.
Yeah, by posting online with your partner.
Yeah. And so then I feel like my relationships after that, I was very cautious to share anything, and then I finally did share with the partner after that, and then it ended up kind of going down in flames. Not because I posted, but I just
It's
felt like, damn, why did I
hard
end
launch.
up why did
We
I end
know.
up sharing that with the world if it wasn't even a thing, And so I just have decided to kind of keep that side of my life. I like to protect it. I like to not let people's opinions play a part in the relationship, I guess. But I do also, when someone makes you happy, like you want to be able to share something that makes you happy. If there's a picture that's so cute, you're like, I want to post this. So I feel like my compromise has been posting on my close friends. Like I'll post cute things on my close friends. Not haven't very much yet. We're still kind of
I've
early.
seen, I've seen like one or two, I think, probably from, yeah.
Yeah, but
certain-
if anything, like I've posted on my story and it's just like I just don't want to post anything too coupley if it's not really
Do
anyone's
you think
business.
you will? Is
Yeah,
that like,
yeah. It's I guess it's just something that's more subconscious to me. Like if it happens in the moment, it happens. I just try not to like build it as much of part of my brand, I guess, because I have a young audience. Like I want to stand on my own. I want to exist on my own. I don't want to be known
Yeah.
for being in a specific relationship or whatever it may be.
I totally feel her 100%. We're, coming from the same situation. Both of, me and her and our partners were equally in the public eye. So making content, it was always surrounded by, oh, you two, you two, you two. But now you're just an individual because let's say, that relationship went south. But then you'll always constantly receive comments, oh, when are you guys going to film content together? Like,
Yeah.
when I'm going to see you? And it's like, oh.
you're
I
first trying to process a breakup on your own, and then you have this public eye that's asking
Commenting
questions.
about it.
I just couldn't imagine how you get through something like that with a constant reminder, like, please stop. Or like, this is hard enough. I'm an individual. My brand and content, we're going to just develop in a new way or a different way. And I don't need you to support that part of my life. Like,
Yeah.
support like this part. And
Especially-
me.
Oh, I was going to say.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, luckily now, because we post so much content and we're consistent with it, like we have, I feel like, completely, established our brands as
Yeah.
us, It's like
Exactly.
we're the
Mhm.
unity. It's
What I was
us.
gonna say was I felt like when I went through that breakup, I I had a lot of doubts about, do people follow me for that relationship or are they gonna be interested in just me? Do I offer enough? And so yeah, I worked hard on like building myself as me, and now I feel confident that it is just for
is
me. Yeah. But that's something that like personal preference.
is
I
just
just
me.
try to be a little bit more protective over that part of my life. But it's not something that I hide. Like I think that close friends is a great, because if I was someone like you per se, who maybe like my followers are mostly people who I know in my real life, they're like family and friends, then I would happily post. But since there's so much extra noise and like people who are very
Yeah.
intense,
Which it's still scary because, not that you should be in a relationship with doubts, but like, if you've been through relationships, everyone has been through breakups, and anytime you're putting your life out there or a relationship that potentially could end, it's scary, and it's thinking like, oh, am I going to make a bunch of posts with them? Am I going to put them on my
Mhm.
story? And then all of a sudden we break up, and you think about, the public eye always, even
Yeah.
if it's big or small. And you kind of just have to block out that noise no matter what kind of platform you have. You're like, what am I using this channel for? And both of you, that's for your brand. So
Yeah.
it doesn't necessarily have to be about the relationship. But like, for me, I am like, okay, this at this time is representing my happiness and what makes me happy, like you pointed out, Cosette. And if he is a part of that journey at this time, then I should be okay posting it for that moment and not have any regrets. But I go through waves like that. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't post anything with him because, like, this should be my platform. This should be about me. And then at the same time, like, oh, wait, but I'm so excited and
Yeah.
happy, and finding that balance between like how much should be about them and you two, and then how much should be just you. And
100%. I think it also gets to the point where if you're doing like a little dump about what was important in your year, if you're
I
on
like
a
the
trip,
dumps. I
like
yeah.
if you're on a
Photo
trip,
dump.
Yeah.
it's a given. It's kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? It's just a given. It's a no-brainer to include that person. I actually had an ex. We went on a full trip to New York together, and they were posting all week in New York. And from looking at that picture, you would not know I was there. And that I think is when
no.
it.
Which ex was this?
Why?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
As
what I
soon as you
thought.
said, yeah, okay.
That's what I thought.
And so
That's-
I think when it comes to like when you really feel like you're
Like,
being
you were also
hidden, that's
the
a problem.
reason
That-
they were there
York,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. I'm like, I'm
Yeah, that
on the
doesn't
same
make
page with you.
sense.
Why are you?
Yeah, but anyway, listen, this episode is not about whether or not to launch. It is about how we're launching.
How we're launching.
So
Yeah.
let's get back to the hard versus soft launch. For people who maybe don't really know what that hard versus soft launch is, let's define it a little bit. Soft launch is something a little bit more cryptic, secretive, mysterious, and maybe it's
I
a
think you can
hand.
just play around with it more. I
Yeah.
really like the soft
I
launch.
love seeing the examples of soft launches. Maybe it's a mirror selfie of you, but you're hugging your guy,
Literally,
Yeah.
and then it's their back, and there's really cute ways of doing a coupley picture without showing their face. It's more about like just hiding their face.
Yeah, I love like
Yeah.
the back shots where it's like a little blurry and then like they're walking through and they take a picture.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's
Or
that's
it's
so
like
alluring.
you're
and, like,
sitting at the table and you're eating dinner, and maybe it's like your hands holding, but it's just your hands and
Yeah.
your food.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it. I'm
A
like,
super like softest launch, I would think, is when you're out for drinks and there's like 2 drinks, but there's no hands, but you're like, well, someone else is drinking that.
oh.
There's so many ways
or
of
like
doing
a
it.
bouquet where you're like bouquet with like a note that's I don't know. I'm like I don't even
Ooh,
think
that's
I've seen that,
cute.
but it's like miss you, can't wait to see you, and then it's a heart, and you're like, what?
Yeah,
I'm
Okay.
thinking about
definitely
if I were in a.
mysterious.
I'm thinking.
like,
I
I
just
wanna-
thought of a story. I have a confession to make. I think.
Oh.
Oh, this was a few years ago, but I had gone through a breakup. It might have been with Y, and I was really like going through it. And I always buy myself flowers. Like that's something I've always done for myself. I remember I walked.
Don't wait for anyone to get you.
Yeah,
flowers.
exactly. Buy
Don't.
yourself the damn flowers. I walked to Trader Joe's, and on my way back, I took a picture of the flowers on the sidewalk, or like just kind of a shot of the sidewalk with the flowers. And I didn't say someone had gotten them for me, but I put like the face, like the blushing face. That was, I think, I was trying to make it hint as if, oh my god, someone just got
Yeah.
me these. And I don't know if it did anything, but I remember I was trying to make people think someone had bought me the flowers, and it was me
Which
buying
it does. It does. It doesn't matter if you were getting them for yourself or someone.
I never
and
claimed.
you never said anything. You're like,
Exactly.
this is just making
Here's
me happy. This is
flowers.
making
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
blush.
You can think what you want to think.
I
Yeah,
know.
exactly. So now
Oh,
the
I love
hard
that.
launch. The hard launch is a face
Which-
photo. It's a tag.
I feel like I was hard launched, and that's why I feel like
Wait,
I never.
explain it. I want to
How did it feel to be hard launched?
It felt really good.
Yeah.
It felt really good, but it wasn't. It was before we established anything. It was really
Really?
soon.
Wow.
So yeah, we had
Wait,
just.
was it a story post?
Yep,
or
it was a
feed
story
post?
post.
A
Oh,
story
we should
post?
talk. Yeah, let's talk about the Storyverse post as well. But it was on his story, and we had just went on a hike together with our dogs together, and
That are now like brothers.
now they're squabbling brothers. But he took a picture kind of with like my back, it was side profile, and he tagged me and was like hike with a view and me. And I remember being like, oh my god, because I came from a relationship as well where
It was hidden.
it was hidden. It was like
Ugh,
I'm not
that's the
gonna post
worst.
you because the comments will receive and everything, which was really sad. Like I don't need you to be again showing me off on social media, but to be actively hidden.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You could
actively
be
hidden.
private,
Yeah, you
but
can
don't
be
make me
private.
a secret.
Right.
That gets me mad.
Yeah, it yes, we've been through that. We know how mad it gets all of us. But so when he did that so soon, I don't know. You're like, dang. So he must not be.
You're like, am I special?
He must not be hiding me from
Uh-huh.
anyone, and he must be serious. All the things that we come up with in our heads too, like,
Mhm.
oh my god, he posted me on his story. He must like be
Oh
all
my
into me.
gosh,
Isn't that
yeah,
crazy?
it's crazy.
That's the sign we take. I mean, obviously we're dating, but that's the sign I took as like
Uh-huh.
he must be serious about me.
Yeah.
That's
Well, he's showing you off. You know,
I know
you're
it
on
does.
his
It
story.
felt really good. So
Well, because then you're like, okay, well, they're not messing around with other people because they wouldn't post
unless
that
they're
Yeah.
hiding people from their
their
story.
story.
Oh,
Ooh.
oh my gosh, we
Ooh, let's
can't.
not
I don't
even go
trust
there.
men.
We don't trust.
Let's talk about some launch fails or maybe like accidental launches. I have a story in mind, and
Ooh.
while I tell the story, I want
Sure.
you to both think of your stories.
Okay.
So, in my last relationship, I remember it. I was very. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm at a loss for words today. This is the first podcast that we're shooting today, and it's early.
It is early.
What's
Hesitant to be posting and
yes? Okay.
and sharing
right word, I think.
early on because we were not together for very long. And I never even told my parents about this relationship. They actually found out recently. Recently, I slipped up on the phone with my dad. Not that I was trying to hide
No,
it,
but,
but
like,
I
what
had
was-
said something like, oh, yeah, I think I was talking about my current partner. And I'm like, yeah, it's a nice change since I've, dated like older people. And my dad was like, yeah, maybe one. And I was like, well, no, if there was the last one. And he was like, what do you mean? And then I
so-
told him, the blank blank. And he was like, we never knew that. Like, your mother and I did not know that you were dating someone. So this relationship, I was
'cause
just.
that was really the first relationship after your big breakup, or one of your big breakups, and so
Mhm.
I remember you really being as careful as you could be.
I was so careful.
You were so careful in like when to call them after you guys establish your relationship, when to call them. Like you weren't comfortable calling them boyfriend
Mhm.
and just, promoting that. And then the post, like
Yeah.
you were very careful and rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
It was crazy because I feel
Rightfully
like,
so.
it went super up, it went up
And
and,
then
then
all
it
of a
went
sudden it was
right
just
back
gone.
down. Yeah. It was like, wow. And, you have to be like cautious of that.
The
Like, okay, I'm hard
relationship.
launching. You have to know that.
I don't
want to
look like a fool.
That might be one of the situations that do happen.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're together and then, wait, what? We're not?
Exactly.
So how is this like?
So
what's
this was
mishap?
this was a little bit of an accidental launch. We didn't have many photos together. In fact, still to this day, there's two situations I can think of actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
both with him.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
We never really posted together. We very rarely. I mean, we had posted together when
He can't use emojis. He can't text. Why do you expect him to
Yeah.
be on?
Yeah.
Crazy. That's crazy.
I remember, well, one time we like played in this tournament together, and so we had posted that, but it was no indication that we were together or anything like that. And,
Were you together at that time?
yeah, we
Okay.
were. But the accidental one was we were spending we were hanging out at one of his friends' place for a movie night, and there was this new app that was really popular. I don't even remember what it was called, but it was this app everyone was using where you take a photo and then it takes a while to develop and then it'll automatically post. Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
No.
I thought you were gonna talk about the one where at a certain time every day.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one.
No,
I thought
Be
you were gonna-
Real?
Yeah.
No.
But no, that's not the one
But
she's talking about.
interesting.
But
What?
anyway, yeah, his friend was really into this new app and took a picture of us on the couch, and we forgot about it. And then 24 hours later, it like just automatically posted on his account. And
Is it like through Instagram?
no, it's not their Instagram. It's on the app, but you can have
Okay.
like a ton of followers and everything. And it wasn't a big deal,
Okay.
but it was kind of like a funny moment where then someone had reposted on their Instagram, and I was like, I was like, like I didn't even realize that was being taken. I wasn't even posing for the photo. And it was just kind of a funny, when you don't have any pictures of someone and it's kind of this weird taboo of like, are we going to be taking photos
Yeah.
together? Are we not? That was a funny little mishap. And then another one was we went to this event together, and it was this like circus carnival event. And we did this activity. Do you remember this video that was being filmed? And you had to basically like throw a tomato at this guy's face. And he was like, I got this, like Jim bro. He's like, I got this. And he ended up not hitting the guy's face. He ended up hitting the guy's nuts.
Oh,
And
no.
and then I went up and I hit it square in the guy's face, like perfect aim. It
I
was a
remember
far throw
that.
too. And so that video, the guy was filming it and posted on his account, and the video ended up getting some traction because people were like, why did that guy throw it at his nuts? Like, why was that necessary? And so I remember I had maybe reposted it on my story, but it was also, I felt like, oh wow, our relationship is kind of out there, even though we didn't say anything that we were dating, but it felt kind of like a weird, oh, now we're posting.
Now we're something.
Yeah, now we're creating content together in a weird way. So yeah, those were little like situations where I also did have a Be Real soft launch. Do you remember this? It was the day that we ran into you.
That's what I felt like. I was like, I feel
Ah.
like there was something on the Be Real.
Be Real was always like a way of
That's-
soft launching, I feel like.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah. Who are you with at this time? Oh, well, must be something.
yeah, exactly. Why were you on a hike
Why
together?
were you-
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just, I guess that was a funny little mishap where I was like, oh, now there's pictures and videos of us out there. And I remember being like kind of scared about it. And
Maybe that was your body telling you.
yeah.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Mm.
Maybe that was the sign. Your
True.
intuition.
That was a sign. Yeah, your
speaking.
body always tells you.
For sure, you guys must have some type of soft or hard launch mishap.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm
I-
thinking.
well,
Don't leave me
Okay,
hanging here.
okay. I don't have a mishap, but like okay. So during one of my little trees? I don't know what you would call this. The Sailor Moon gent.
Yes.
Um.
Little rendezvous.
Yes. Whatever we had, situationship.
Fun.
I don't know. I was all in, as Cosette knows. When we
Poor
first
girl.
met, I was all into this gentleman.
She had twinkles in her
I
eyes.
had twinkles in my eyes. I thought like the things we were doing. I mean, I think we've told this story, but when I met Cosette and her ex at the time, like it was the second time I'd met you, but
yeah.
we went to this
Selena Gomez concert.
Selena Gomez concert, and we sat in this booth, and all I did was talk to these two about this guy that I was seeing and how much he must like me because I went Christmas shopping with him to get his sister's items and wow, we must I was over the moon and like that was nope, reading those signs wrong.
Isn't it crazy how we could just like take a situation and romanticize it so
Yeah.
much?
I was
and
like, he's giving me
overthink it?
all the signs. Like, he wants me to come over
That's
at night.
his
We
fault,
make brownies.
Because he was giving you the
Yeah,
signs.
I mean, if you're asking me to make brownies at your house, you must really like me. That's the
You
sign.
must want
yeah,
to
you
have
must want me.
Children with me.
Yeah, you must. This is serious now. We're
He
gonna
wants to
get
put a ring
engaged.
on it.
Yep, this is it. But because we worked together, the way we interacted at work was always like, you know, like it was like a interesting line because I don't think it was hidden very well, but it also wasn't like boisterous. We weren't just
Yeah.
like holding hands
Boisterous.
and stuff. Yeah, we were just like, you know, casual
Mhm.
because our friends at the office, we all hung out together.
Yeah.
So there was also one night where we all decided to go to this pasta place next to the office. And we're all around this table. And of course, I was sitting next to him. And so someone on their story put all of us together. And I'm like next to him and we're eating pasta and talking to each other because we weren't really posing. And I remember seeing that. And I just felt like excitement. Like, oh, it's out now.
It's out there. Everyone knows.
Everyone knows.
Love the Delulu.
The Delulu was real in that relationship, but and then I think of course I reposted it, and I don't know if he did at all, but I don't think I was.
That's always a sign
I
when
know.
you repost it and they
I know that's why I'm
don't.
like I wish I would have taken more note. But yeah, I thought that was like a happy mishap. Like,
Uh-huh.
oh my god, I didn't do it, but someone else did. So
Exactly. Well, that's what
are
the
we gonna do
mishaps
with
all
this?
are.
What are we gonna do? With
I
this?
think it's candids are such a fun type of photo to play with for either a soft or a hard launch. And I just think your friends who are around you and taking candid photos are the real ones.
I
Like,
know you love
We've
that.
always
I
reminded
love
each
it.
other. We're
Love
like,
that.
let's do that more because when we ever send something, we're like, that is so. Thank you for capturing that moment. I didn't
Yeah.
even think about it. And now it's so precious and so real.
Those are my favorite kind
Yeah.
of photos.
I actually, you took a candid photo of me and my boyfriend when we were at the cabin looking out onto the lake from behind,
Yes!
and it's the cutest thing ever. I'll have to show you.
Yeah, I haven't seen
you
that.
always see my
That-
photos.
I want to see that. I know.
Oh,
I'm like,
can
send me
you-
more of
Yeah,
your
which
photos.
one?
Did you already share the story on this podcast about the Hawaii?
Which is, it's like it's my favorite thing. And
Photo.
I was so close to doing that to someone on the airplane, and I was sitting next to them. It was me and
What
these
if they're like we're
su-
brother and sister?
No, they were super cute, super lovey-dovey. Like he would turn to her and just give her a kiss. Then they would like sleep on each other.
Aw.
It was like really cute, and I thought about that. They
She's
were,
like,
I
"Let me
know,
just-"
and I was like, someone did this for me, where they took a picture of us and airdropped it to me, and they're like, sorry if that was creepy, but you guys look so cute, and I really loved it. And so I thought about me sitting next to him, and this was last week, and I thought about just while they were sleeping, taking a picture, but then I thought, like,
The sleeping might come off a
that
little
might
bit
come
creepy.
off weird. We're on an airplane, we're close, and I'm like, you guys are just resting,
Yeah.
so sleep. So I did it.
If
But-
someone saw you, they probably would be
I
like,
know.
weirdo.
So I thought about that though, because like it was it was so cute. They were so cute together. I even thought about even at the end of the flight, just saying, "You guys are really cute." But I was like, no, I was like, hope you guys like. I don't know what else.
Hope you have a good life.
Hope it works.
I hope it works.
But I feel like if you feel that emotion, it's like good to express it, you know? It's
that's a
good. Like,
reminder
Never
to
share
keep
more of that.
never
It
keep a
feels good
kind
to
thought to
hear.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But
Anyway.
I think we should do that for each other.
Yeah,
We should.
absolutely.
So we
and
can
do that
play
for your
around with-
friends. Do
yeah,
that for your friends.
then we could take pictures of each other for those soft launches. Like if I see you and your boyfriend Cosette in this like mysterious pose, I can take it.
Ooh,
and
what's
you're
a
like,
mysterious
soft
pose?
launch. I don't know. No, I mean the
Playing
shadow
ping pong?
illuminates you
Yeah.
differently, and then like if you posted him, he wouldn't be recognizable, and you're like, who's Cosette hanging out with? I don't know.
Oh,
Like,
very
kinda
mysterious.
like that. Rachel,
But-
yours is already. Your
Yeah,
cup is
you-
Mine's very
busted.
hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
As a final note, what are some let's just brainstorm for the audience
brainstorm.
some different examples of soft launches for them to be posting on their social media with their secretive partner. Not secretive, but Okay, we talked about the
I
mirror selfie with the hugging from behind.
I really like the
Yes.
flower idea.
The
I
flower.
think if they wrote a note with it,
Yeah.
I think the note would be a clear indication that unless you, I mean, we could do it for ourselves too and really play some games, but it'd be an indication that someone is sending them to you. And it's a great way. No one's even there, but you know that someone thinks so highly of you that they're
Mhm.
sending you flowers and a note. Like, I don't know. I love that idea. Maybe
That would
have
make me
it.
think some thoughts.
Some sauce is going down.
Some sauce is going
Okay,
down.
sauce.
I just thought of 2 ideas.
Yeah.
One, there's the classic, you guys are walking together and you're holding hands, but it's the back of them, and like you're holding hands, you can tell that there's a person right there.
Cute.
That's always a fun
I
idea.
love that one.
Another thing I thought of, it's not necessarily including them, but a little like mirror selfie of you looking really dressed up and saying date night. It's like, well, you got to be going on a
That's
date with
cute.
someone.
Ooh.
That's cute.
One is taking a picture of like both your feet.
Yeah,
It's
the
just your
feet.
shoes.
Oh, I love
And, like they're
that.
on one side and you're on the other.
You
and
know,
it's
like, well,
I'm
we
with
live so
someone.
close to the beach. I think if like it's a sunset and they're standing at the water or like you two,
Ooh.
that one you can really not see them when it's shadowy like
Yeah.
that.
But you
That
see
would-
their silhouette.
Yeah, but you
That's
see their
a fun
silhouette. Like
little
I really like
secretive.
that. Yeah.
Let's do that.
I know. Let's do this.
Let's head to the Noops.
All of us. We got to play with Cosette, I guess, because right now we're kind of out there. Unless I
You gotta come down to us.
redefine
I know,
myself.
ugh.
I'm like,
They've both moved to the dark side now.
The dark side.
It's
What?
heartbreaking.
We got cookies. We got coffee.
yeah.
Uh,
Rachel saw my new place. She's
did.
she's into it.
I
That's
need to
great.
see
Well, she didn't
it.
go inside. She saw
Oh,
the
okay.
exterior.
No, I went inside.
No, not into my place.
Oh, I was like, I thought you meant your coffee place. I was like, wait,
Oh,
what?
no,
you there?
I went in the coffee place. Yeah, that one else. That's more important than my place, the coffee shop.
Final question. How much should you care about people's opinions when you hard launch? My answer, 0%.
I think that's when I said earlier, if you're ready to hard launch, you have to be ready to not care.
Yeah.
Like you have to do that for you because you don't care. Like,
Mhm.
yeah.
oh, are we gonna talk about posting versed stories? Hard launch?
I mean, we're like wrapping up, but go for it.
I just am like,
Give your little spiel.
I don't know. I like the stories.
I like the
more
stories
because
too.
a post hard launch is not weird. Go for it if you want to, but I don't know.
I
As
think
your
that's why
first-
in a
makes sense.
carousel it's cute.
Yeah, yeah.
But you can delete a single photo in a carousel without deleting the whole carousel.
You can?
Yeah. So if
Ah.
I remember.
Huh.
Yep.
I'm going to note that
yeah,
because well, Mr. Wright has some photos.
Oh, and he's like, I don't want to delete the post. Well,
Yeah.
he can delete just
Yeah,
a single
okay.
photo.
Good to know.
Oh.
Good
Knowing
to
him, he
know.
probably doesn't even know. how
He
to-
doesn't.
No,
He
that's true.
never-
That's very true. I feel like yeah, when you're maybe in the beginning stages of the
I think
relationship,
the
then
story.
post is good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like for me, I'm, quite a bit in. So,
Yeah.
for New Year's, I did a New Year's post
yeah,
of
yeah.
both of us, and I thought it was so
Oh, I was already
cute.
thinking about like the birthdays, the sweet holidays coming up, all these things. I'm like, I'm debating in my head. This is crazy, but I'm like, post for story, like, and I'm like weighing out which ones I should do a story for, which one I should do a post for, and it's fun. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't care if I do a post. I don't care.
I
Maybe
had
can make it all
posted, yeah,
about
I
me.
posted like a post for a past partner, and it was like between the 2 and 3 year mark. I want to
Mhm.
say. So I like a dedicated little post. I think it's cute, but
Yeah.
you should be with the partner for long enough that you feel really safe and
Yeah,
comfortable.
that
with
it's not
them.
going to go downhill
Yeah.
after
Well, and
you
even
post.
then, I mean,
You never know.
Even then.
exactly.
Yeah, but you never know.
you never
Anyway,
know.
that was our little crash course on hard launches versus
Hard launches.
Someone
versus
else talk.
Soft
I can't do it.
launches.
hard launches versus soft launches.
I think
I-
both can be really fun.
Both can be fun. Both have their pros and
Yeah.
cons.
Just don't be hidden. I hate secrets.
Yeah, just
No
don't like
secrets. You can be
intentionally.
private, just don't be hiding.
If you go on a week long trip
Yeah.
with a partner, the partner is a part of the trip. So don't hide them from
Yeah.
every single photo. I'm like,
You-
who should I
they
talk
go
to
the
make
extent
this?
of like blurring you out or
Yeah.
edit
Photo
photo? Yeah.
cropping.
Retouching you
They're
out
like,
of the photo.
Who's that? That was like
Crazy.
the bartender. Instead, it's literally Cosette handing them a drink, and instead it's a
Oh, they're like,
Oh
the
my
service
gosh.
here is so good.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Signing off. It's Cosette.
Lexi.
And Rachel.
Bye.